Hello and welcome to RPG PhD. I'm Dr. Ben, and today we're diving deep into the art of playing to your ability scores in tabletop RPGs. From the genius wizards to the not-so-bright warriors, let's find out how to keep our gameplay immersive and true to our character sheets. Ready your dice and let's roll into the world of authentic role-playing. In the mystical land of Dravania, a party of adventurers set out to retrieve the elusive Tome of Ancients, a book said to grant immense power to its possessor. Among these brave souls was Alina, a nimble elven archer, Cassandra, a priestess with divine connections, Draven, a knight with unmatched bravery, and Thorgar, a hulking orc with biceps as big as tree trunks and an intelligence score of 7. The journey led them to the Library of Lamentations, a vast, abandoned repository of knowledge guarded by magical wards and cryptic challenges. In one chamber, the group was faced with an ethereal guardian who would only grant passage if they correctly answered 3 riddles. Alina and Cassandra attempted the first 2 riddles, calling upon their respective wisdom and divine guidance. Then, to everyone's surprise, as the third and most challenging riddle was posed, Thorgar confidently stepped forward. The spirit intoned, "I speak without a mouth and hear without words. I have no body, but I come alive with the wind. What am I?" Before anyone could ponder, Thorgar, with a deep air of contemplation, declared, "It's an echo." The Guardian, taken aback but bound by its duty, allowed them passage. While the group was elated, Cassandra turned to Thorgar, incredulous. "Thorgar, how did you know that?" Thorgar shrugged. "Oh, I read it in a book once." Draven chuckled. "I didn't even know you could read." Thorgar scratched his head. "Well, I can't, but a wise old mage read it to me when I was just a young orc." However, as they proceeded, Alina, with her sharp elven senses, whispered to Cassandra, "Something's not right. Thorgar might have heard of riddles, but recalling them with such precision, it doesn't add up." As the story unraveled, it was evident to the group that Thorgar's player was playing the character with more intelligence than his character sheet might suggest. In the world of tabletop role-playing games, ability scores are more than just numbers. They breathe life into your characters, informing their behaviors, decision-making processes, and even interpersonal dynamics. As players, we understand that an intelligence score of 8 differs significantly from an 18, just as a strength of 9 contrasts with a strength of 19. These differences should not just inform the mechanics of gameplay, but should be integral to the role-playing aspect as well. Even though this channel offers advice for all sorts of RPGs, I will use the ability scores of Dungeons & Dragons as examples, as most players are familiar with them. But these could apply to any system with ability scores, as there is usually a continuum between high scores and low scores. Strength. A character with a strength score of 8 might struggle with heavy armor or be unable to carry too many items, while one with a score of 18 could easily be the powerhouse of the group, breaking down doors and acting as the frontline defender. For the lower score, show hesitation in physical challenges, rely on tools or other characters for tasks requiring force. For the higher score, be eager to display physical prowess, offer to carry items for others, and be the first to step up physically in daunting situations. Dexterity isn't just about agility and reflexes, it's about finesse and grace. A high dexterity character might be the one to step lightly over a squeaky floorboard, elegantly perform a dance at the local tavern, or swiftly pick a lock under pressure. On the flip side, a low dexterity character might be prone to knocking things over, tripping in inconvenient moments, or struggling to sneak around effectively. Their hands might be a bit clumsy when trying to handle intricate objects or when performing delicate tasks. Constitution reflects your character's endurance, resilience, and overall health. Characters with a high constitution can handle harsher climates, longer battles, and resist diseases better. They can endure pain and shrug off minor injuries, making them stalwarts in adverse conditions. This might be the person who barely breaks a sweat after a long march, or who can drink everyone under the table. Those with low constitution might get winded easily, fall ill more often, or struggle to recover from wounds. Such characters might avoid situations where their physical stamina would be tested and might be cautious about the risks they take. A character with an intelligence of 8 might have difficulty recalling information or understanding complex situations, whereas a character with an intelligence of 18 could be the go-to strategist, adept at solving puzzles and deciphering mysterious runes. For the lower score, avoid using big words, be curious about common knowledge, and perhaps be easily fooled by others. For the higher score, speak thoughtfully, demonstrate a thirst for knowledge, and perhaps be impatient with those who can't keep up with your intellect. Wisdom is about intuition, awareness, and insight. High wisdom characters have a keen sense of their surroundings. They might be the first to notice that something feels off in a room, detect a hidden creature, or even just have a gut feeling about a person's true intentions. They could be more attuned to nature, noticing patterns in the weather or the behavior of animals. Characters with low wisdom might be a bit oblivious, often caught off guard, or struggle to read between the lines in social situations. They might be more prone to acting without thinking about the consequences, or failing to notice the small but crucial details in their environment. Charisma represents your character's force of personality, charm, and leadership abilities. Characters with high charisma can sway crowds, charm individuals, or even intimidate foes with just their presence. They have a knack for getting what they want, whether through diplomacy, deceit, or sheer force of personality. This character is likely the party's face during interactions and negotiations. Low charisma characters might struggle in social situations, coming off as awkward, brash, or even off-putting. They may have difficulty lying convincingly, or might be more prone to social faux pas. However, it's worth noting that a low charisma doesn't necessarily mean unlikable. It can also mean the character is just not adept at manipulating social situations to their advantage. In theater, given circumstances are the underlying facts that define a character. Where they come from, their past experiences, their likes and dislikes. In a similar vein, ability scores in RPGs provide a foundational roadmap for how a character might react to the world around them. The term given circumstances was popularized by the famed Russian theater practitioner Konstantin Stanislavski. For Stanislavski, the given circumstances are like the foundation upon which actors build their performances. By fully understanding these circumstances, an actor can make more informed, truthful choices in their portrayal of a character and more genuinely respond to what's happening in the scene. It helps ground the performance in the reality of the play, ensuring that the actor's reactions and motivations are consistent with the world the playwright has created. The same applies to RPGs. Make more informed, truthful choices in the portrayal of a character by genuinely responding to what's happening. Actors utilize these given circumstances to inform their portrayal, ensuring that their performances align with the character's history, experiences, and inherent truths. Similarly, RPG players should use ability scores as a bedrock of character portrayal. For example, an actor, given the circumstance of being born into royalty, will exhibit a vastly different demeanor than one born into poverty. Similarly, a character with a high charisma score might exude confidence and charm, while one with a low score might be more reserved or abrasive. So in terms of role-playing, we can think about ability scores in a few useful ways. We can think about the physical depiction. Allow ability scores to guide your character's physical actions. A high constitution might mean your character hardly flinches when injured, where a low constitution character might feel the pain more acutely when injured. Speech patterns. High charisma characters might be fast-talking or smooth, eloquent, and persuasive, while those with low wisdom might not think before they speak. Emotions and interactions. A character with high wisdom but low charisma might understand people's emotions but be socially awkward. Don't be afraid to play those contrasts. Ask why. Always question why your character has those scores. Is the low intelligence due to a lack of education or perhaps a traumatic event, old injury? Backstories can make role-playing these traits even more engaging. Collaborate with your fellow players. Interact with party members in ways that highlight these contrasting stats. A high-strength character might always tease their lower-strength comrade or be protective of them. Whether you're a seasoned tabletop veteran or a newcomer, diving deep into the nuanced world of character statistics can elevate your role-playing experience. By treating ability scores not just as numbers, but as rich character-defining traits, players can create memorable, authentic, and dynamic characters that resonate with fellow players and breathe life into the story. Remember, these numbers are not limitations, but avenues for creativity, depth, and growth. How does your character's ability scores affect the way you portray your character? Please share your thoughts in the comments section below. I hope you enjoyed this video on playing your ability scores. If you found this video useful, please hit those like and subscribe buttons. It is much appreciated. Thanks for watching. See you next time.